Welcome to Author's Idea, a production of MJR Productions and JR Global. These podcasts feature ideas and conversations from Mahesh, Joshi, and JR Klein. Both are established business leaders with expertise recognized worldwide. As co-authors of several books on global business, they present observations and practical ideas on leadership, this age of transformation, and the interrelated nature of the planet. Here is your host, JR Klein.
Today we're thinking about the question, what can leaders do to tackle the challenge of access equity? The entire world continues to struggle with global crisis. The COVID pandemic was the epitome of an unplanned event. It came at us quickly with little warning. Though devastating, it was emblematic of the challenge in leadership. This is a time when leaders must be open to ideas from different audiences and different parts of the world. In this, we need to think about some concepts that will shape the role and create impact for leaders in the 21st century. Three distinct trends are the great influencers on life on this planet. The first is people. The scope and the depth of human skill, capacity, and intelligence have been improving primarily because of technological innovation and development over the last 2 centuries. As human beings, whether individually or collectively, we are able to address very complex problems and produce reasonable solutions. It is a myopic view that does not gain a sense of optimism and a sense of progressive evolutionary accomplishment about the 21st century. The second distinctive driver of the 21st century is globalization. At its basic definition, globalization is the process of people coming from different parts of the world and sharing aspects of economic and social life. Through that process, there is a lot of education driven simply by exposure to varied content and most with positive outcomes derived from diversity. This change of perspective is evident not just in organizations, but at the societal level. The third trend is the impact that technology is making on human life as it functions at all levels. The digitization of the world is changing everything, including access to information, cultural diversity, clothing, food, travel, work, and the workplace. In addition to these trends of human intelligence, globalization, and technology, there are 3 other elements that seem to characterize the challenges of 21st century society. Any exposure across the globe seems to impact the increase in inequities. In many cities around the world, high wealth areas exist adjacent to abject poverty and slums. The evidence of economic disparity is not an anomaly. Secondly, scientific solutions in the field of infectious diseases are no longer very effective. The solution has become the problem. The development of antibiotics to attack germs and viral diseases have worked well, but through natural selection or mutation, we face strains that are not affected by current antibiotics. This increases the danger of pandemics, exacerbated by the fact that in today's world, many more millions are traveling across the globe. The COVID-19 pandemic began in China and spread around the world in a matter of months. This inequity and quality of life are joined by a third element. Conversation with education leaders tell us that institutional education is in a state of crisis. Few countries have managed to discover the best way to educate the next generation of citizens. Education is the big challenge that all leaders must face. Leaders in the 21st century have to address the influences of people, globalization, and technology, as well as the challenges of inequity, global pandemics, and education. They will not only be able to enjoy the positive effects of the first 3, but they must also deal with the challenges of the second 3. The next question becomes, how can leaders prepare to be effective leaders in a radically transitional world.
Thank you for listening. If you are interested in more of the author's ideas, look for their Oxford University Press published books on global business wherever books are sold. If you are interested in contacting the authors, they can be reached via JR Global at 01 614 526 9118.